Roachford is a poi spinner, juggler, and dance-based flow artist out of Florida. Has been one of my favorite artists for a number of years now, and he is such an insightful and intelligent individual. He's extremely talented in so many different ways, and once again, it's an absolute honor to have him on for an episode for the 12th episode of the podcast. Support us on Patreon, and make sure to let us know what you think of the episode down in the comments. I absolutely love hearing the feedback, and it reminds us that what we're doing matters. Welcome to the Poidcast, and enjoy the episode, my friends. Roachford, welcome to the podcast, man. Thank you so much for being our 12th guest for the podcast. We appreciate your time today. Thank you very much for coming on.
Of course. Hello. Thank you so much, Patrick. Happy to be on the podcast.
Dude, so cool. Yeah, I've been a huge fan of yours for many years now. It's really cool to be able to connect with artists that I've been watching and admiring their work for years now. We always exchange messages through Instagram and Facebook and whatnot, but it's really cool to actually be able to connect with somebody, at least in a virtual space, and be able to chat with them. So really excited for this one, man. Take us all the way back to how and when you got introduced to poi.
Yeah, so that happened like at the end of high school. It was like 2013. I had been playing lacrosse, playing bass, and also skateboarding. So I was skateboarding for like 6 years, and kind of like everybody was quitting skateboarding. Lacrosse, I was kind of tired of lacrosse because like this guy is like 6'4", 250 pounds, like slamming you. I'd get hit like a lot, and I'm like, I kind of need my brain cells for like school or something later. Just kind of, it's nice to have brain cells, so I'm gonna keep those. And then with bass, I just kind of wasn't. I still love bass, but I was just putting it down, not playing it as much. I guess with the other hobbies also going on and like trying to select the college, etc. So a friend of mine introduced me to another friend. We walked into their backyard, and they were spinning fire poi. And I was like, "Oh, look at that. That's really nifty. Like, I think I'm interested in whatever that is." And from there, pretty much just took off. Started spinning like all the time. Was super duper obsessed. I immediately went home and like I got my long lacrosse socks and put lacrosse balls in them, and I was just like, like trying to like figure stuff out. Like I watched videos, but I didn't want to watch any tutorials. Actually, me and my friend 괰ᴰ, we both started at the same time, and we decided we're just gonna like, we'll use ᴠᴜᴜ was the person that introduced me to fire poi. We'll use them for like reference and tips and stuff, and they can totally teach us, but like no like tutorials, just to like took us like a month to learn a 3-beat weave, like another month for an orbital, like stuff, because like we were really just going caveman with it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I'm glad that you found poi, because you're right. You do need your brain cells. You are an incredibly intelligent individual, and you're so multifaceted, talented in so many different areas. So that's really cool. So when you first started, so you just saw fire poi right off the bat, right?
Yep.
Nice. So did you get how long until you saw fire poi did you get into like contact poi? When did you start getting into contact?
I would say like rather quickly. Chloe was quite a high level poi spinner, practicing with like Teddy Petrosky at the time. If you remember Teddy back in the day. And so I feel like I got exposure to that real quick, and I got my first contact poi probably 3 months in, 4 months, 6 months, something like that.
Wow. Yeah, super quick, man. That's awesome. So when you got into poi, had you already been dancing at that point, or did you start dancing after?
A little bit of dancing, like dabbling. I would learn like the trendy dances, like the jerk and the soldier boy, like that. You know what I mean? But I never like was super serious about it until like 2 years into poi.
Interesting. Okay, so dancing did come like mainly secondary after poi. That's awesome. Because I've always wondered if you had just already been into it when you got into poi, or because I don't know which you're better at, dancing or poi, but you're just insane at both. But that's really cool. So when you kind of started putting an emphasis on dance with poi, like tell me a little bit about that transitional period and the motivation behind that. Like how did that start?
I think I'm not sure how exactly I got into. I think I know I've always been interested in dancing a little bit, and I think basically Lork is the first person that comes to mind. Lork was like being quite dancey with the poi, and I'm like, yeah, there needs to be more of this. And I was looking into dancers and being inspired by like the Les Twins and Ditto and Fiction in them, and so I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna really like
Nice.
dedicate like trying to get really good at dance and like put it into my poi and see if I can come up with some like interesting fusion. And
Yeah,
that was rough. That was rough to start with.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, it blows my mind. I mean, I have a hard enough time even just having like good posture, good like body like presence essentially. So just thinking about the level of dancing that you're putting into your poi work, yeah, it's incredible, man. I'm sure it's very difficult. And so you have gotten into I'm really not even too knowledgeable about the prop dance culture. Tell us about your involvement in this, like as an instructor or organizer, or your involvement in general. How did that come about?
Yeah. So this is definitely related to like it being rough to fuse the two. It's kind of like when I started, so I would have dance clips and say they would get 100 likes, and I would get like poi clips, they would have like 100 likes. And when I started trying to do, poi dance, mix them together, get like 25 likes, like 50 likes, like a laugh emoji, like people saying, why are you doing this? Like actively like discourage, like maybe try a static prop. Like it was like a lot of discouragement.
Yo,
Not seeing it.
damn, really?
So I trained like the entire summer that summer. I remember I also choreographed and I was just working super hard. I think this was summer of 2015. And I made this choreography called Trendsetter. And that ended up like blowing up and being popular. And actually, finally, my prop dance started getting more likes than either of the two alone. So that was really cool. And I wanted to create like a safe space for other people to have that experience as well, because I know that the moment anyone steps outside of, like what they're normally comfortably doing, what their audience typically sees them as, oh, you're the guy who does this. Like, you can't be doing that other thing. Like, I don't like you because of that other thing. So I wanted to create a safe space for that with the prop dance culture group.
I love that. I love that. And honestly, that's just so shocking for me to hear that you had kind of gotten some backlash and some, people kind of saying like, "Oh, I don't know about that, man. You should do something else." That's crazy. I feel like the first time I saw you, you were already crushing it. So maybe I just missed that time period where you were putting the pieces together. But that's really cool. So the prop dance culture, is this an event that happens? It is actually like a gathering. Is that right?
No, it is not at this time. So prop dance culture started off as just kind of like a Facebook group. And there was that motivation that I said for it earlier, but then it turned into a website because I was noticing at the time that I'm on Facebook just for floor arts related stuff. And I made a status. I'm like, who else is just here for like floor arts stuff? Because like it would be really cool to have just like a Facebook for floor arts. So we don't have to mess with all this other, crazy stuff. So I didn't
Yeah.
know any programming at the time at all, but I like took a ton of WordPress plugins and like slammed them together. I'm like, okay, prop dance culture is now like also like a floored social network, e-learning and multi-vendor website. Like, let's try and do this. But it was way too clunky for it to actually work out because again, zero programming experience at the time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll get into that here in a little bit when we get into the app, the Flow Arts meetup. But for now, we'll stay on the dance subject because like I'll be honest, this whole 2 weeks I've been thinking about this episode. I've been kind of trying to word my stance on this and like how I feel. I've always let my poi do the dancing for me. I've like kind of hid behind my poi in a lot of ways, and I've let my poi or my prop do the talking for me. And I've never been a confident dancer in my life. I feel like I've just always been super like awkward, never feel like confident or anything like that. So it's really cool to see somebody push themselves and step outside of their comfort zone, and take it to another level. I feel like you're really at the forefront for prop dance. So it's awesome to see kind of leading the space in a lot of ways. So you said it's not an in-person event yet, but you do plan on having an event someday down the road, right?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, we're doing something in August, a prop dance retreat. It's happening in Poland, so we're gonna see what
Oh,
that's like. Yeah, it's a first run, and we don't have like so many people. And I've been super duper busy with school recently, just kind of like writing papers and stuff like this. So I haven't had time to put like the energy into it that I would like to for a prop dance.
hmm
But yeah, Jules is killing it, and she's putting it all together. She organized everything, and yeah, maybe next event will be in the United States. I'm hoping that like after this year, I will free up a lot of time. Yeah.
Sweet, sweet. Well, I'm really excited about that. Yeah, that's really cool. I'm sure that it's just going to continue to grow, and you're gonna, the movement, it will essentially just continue to blossom, and you're going to get more people involved, because there's so many people out there that want to be more physically present with their prop, but maybe people just lack the confidence, and they don't really believe in themselves in that way. Very similar to me, in a lot of the ways. I'm trying to have, like I said, I'm trying to have a bigger body presence, and not just be like static, stuck, like my body is just not doing a whole lot. I think that's very common for poi spinners, at least back then for sure. But nowadays people are definitely starting to be a little bit more involved. So yeah, super cool. So when you were kind of beginning in your early poi days, who were some of your main inspirations? Could be local people. You kind of had shout out a couple people that you were working with locally, but as far as like people that you were watching online, who were the people that really inspired you early on?
Well, first, a couple more local shout outs. Shout outs to Mike Moore. Shouts out to Alan Luwaldi. Shout out to Fred Horrell. Shout out to Bradley Powell. Lots of the Florida crew killing it. Awesome. I'm sure I'm forgetting someone right now. For as long as so as far as online stuff, like Tori Johnson at the time was a big one. Cassandra Smith, Marvin Ong, Cyril, Lindsay Poi was huge actually.
Dude, Lindsay was huge.
Started, Lindsay was huge. I loved all of Lindsay's videos for sure. Michael Parisi, someone so good.
Somebody that never gets mentioned on the podcast. Oh
Yeah.
man, Michael is a genius. I'm so glad that you mentioned Michael. His 3D. When I think of Michael, I think of 3D immediately. Like that.
Yeah.
That style was just nutty, dude. Michael's crazy. Wow, what a good one. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anybody else that comes to mind?
Keith Marshall.
Oh yeah.
Asaph, definitely Mel. Lara. There's probably like just like a bunch of Russian spinners who I don't know their names, and that I used to watch all the time, on YouTube. Jonathan Alvarez for sure.
Absolutely. Sure. We're gonna get into that video here in a little bit. But yeah, man, it's really cool hearing people, you name all these people. It's awesome how many of those people I've already had had the pleasure of having on the podcast. It's really cool. We're definitely honored to have like a space for artists like yourself, and Marvin and Cassie and all these really amazing artists, and we have so many more people to get to. It's just this is just the beginning, so it's really cool. But yeah, honestly, we can just dive into the YouTube video. I want to see some Jonathan Alvarez. Joe, if you'd pull that video up, we'll go ahead and watch the video that I'm sure many of you have seen before. But we're just gonna watch it for the one time. We're just gonna watch it live, because this is one of the most beautiful videos. It's one of the most beautiful performances that you will ever see. And if you haven't seen this video, you guys, go watch it. Go watch the whole thing. Get some audio, because I don't know if you're going to have the audio on this one on YouTube. But yeah, absolutely beautiful performance. Jonathan really had so much influence over poi spinners. Like, I feel when Jonathan started releasing videos, this video came out, it was such a massive impact on everybody that was spinning poi and everybody that was watching or like consuming poi online. This was a huge video, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. And just the amount of like emotion and presence is just pristine. Straight from the heart.
I know, seriously.
Just crazy.
Yeah, it gives me chills every time, dude. I love it.
Oh yeah.
absolutely stellar. I mean, it was really, it was a flawless victory. I mean, it was just like, I don't even think he messed up in this video. I mean,
Oh,
honestly, I don't even think he messed up at all.
oh nah, he was clean. He was tight. He was with it. He was in that flow deep. Definitely
Yeah,
miss him. Miss seeing
yeah,
his stuff. He's
yeah,
out there. I heard he's doing good.
yeah, man. I mean, it's I just want, I want to chat with Jonathan so bad, but I get, you know, you do your thing, you know, we want you to be
Hmm.
happy, whatever is going to make you happy, man.
Hmm.
Um, you know, if he thinks that that's the thing that he needs to do for mental health or for his life, take a step back, and not be, you know, as much of a part of it anymore. I mean, I totally respect it, man, but God damn it, I want you to on the podcast, Jonathan. So I just, yeah, I want to talk to him so bad, man.
Yeah, that would be a killer one for sure.
Holy
That would be
shit,
something
dude.
else.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy that we haven't watched this video on the podcast yet. I don't know how, but
Okay.
this is one of my favorite videos of all time as well, for sure.
Yeah, I was grateful you asked me to go and like sift through the depths of the old stuff, and I'm like, this guy. It made me tear up for real. I was like,
Oh,
yeah, just
dude.
all the context around Jonathan Alvarez as well, of course. I mean, just from whatever I know, dude's
Yeah,
just such a
man.
good dude.
For sure, for sure, for sure. Yeah. I don't even know exactly what all, like, what, you know, what all happened, obviously, and why he decided to take a step back. And it's not my place to, obviously. It's, you know,
Likewise.
I don't even know the guy, uh but you know, when somebody has such a profound impact on poi or on anything, they have a lasting memory, you know, and it's not going to go anywhere, you know. It's
Hmm.
not going anywhere. He might have left, but he'll never leave. He'll, you know, it's
Hmm.
the work is done
Yeah,
in a lot of ways, you know.
absolutely. He has made his mark for sure. Yeah, 3 points still unreal.
I know. I
It
know.
was this one and his bending light video. I was like between, like which one I like more. I mean, the bending light one definitely is way crazier tech because yeah, he had been putting in some steady work on the 4. Mm.
Crazy. It's so good.
Boom.
The ending, dude.
The ending's too good.
It gets me every time. Oh my God. That was so good. Man, any of you that just listened to this on audio, go watch that video. It's so good. Yeah, it gives me chills every single time I watch it. I know, and it's really crazy. I mean, I know I already kind of touched on the influence and the significance that he's had, but I mean, it was crazy. Like before Jonathan Alvarez, you know, people were kind of like you know, a few people were dabbling with 3 poi. And then, you know, when that kind of came to popularity, I mean, I saw tons of people that were doing 3 poi because he inspired so many people to start. I mean, including myself. He made 3 poi look really good, and I had never seen 3 done in that way before until I saw that.
And super fun and gunslingers too. Definitely gunslingers. You can't watch Jonathan Alvarez and not want to learn a gunslinger like right
Exactly.
away. Pronto.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, on the subject of 3 poi, when did you start 3 poi?
Uh, pretty early, like a year in. I was like a
Wow.
year in, something like that. It was like just blowing up. Um, yeah, Chris Kelly was going at it.
Mhm.
Definitely Tori Johnson too. We had the videos out from, I guess Keith Marshall maybe had already been out. I'm not sure, but people were starting to get into 3 poi quite heavy at the time. And yeah, I got 3 poi right away for sure.
Yeah, Keith was more of a poi juggler primarily, I'd say, not so much of a poi, like a 3 poi spinner.
Mhm.
I'm sure he did do
Yeah.
spinning patterns with 3, but when I think of Keith Marshall, I think of a lot of poi juggling. He was kind of pioneering some stuff early on. Another guy that doesn't get mentioned a whole lot, which I don't understand. I mean, he was massive back then. Yeah, it was great to hear you mention. I gotta get this guy on, dude. I gotta get Keith on. He's
Keith.
so cool.
Oh, yeah, that would be
Uh,
cool.
he's such a cool guy.
Yeah.
Um,
I've met him, but we haven't had like super extended dialogues. I don't know too much about Keith. That would be cool.
yeah, I mean, he was doing some kind of like tour, but I forget. I mean, it was like early 2010s ish that he was doing some kind of like flow arts, like or like poi tour. I know that he was meeting up and hanging out with like Marvin back in the day and
Mhm.
stuff. So yeah, it'd be a great guy to get on. And so you started three poi pretty early on. What did you start poi juggling pretty early on as well?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's like almost like simultaneous.
Hmm.
Interesting. I think I dabbled in like 4 and 3 probably before I actually got a set of 3 contact poi, but I know I
Hmm.
got a set of 3 contact poi probably like 10 months in or something like that. I have a video clip actually. Let me see. This is dated. This is January 28th, 2014. So that's like 11 months, and I was showing Tori the just like the cascade, just the pendulum
Oh,
cascade.
no way.
Yeah.
Super cool. Yeah, that and so when you first started three poi and started three poi juggling, I mean, did you ever think that you'd be at the level that you're at now as far as like poi juggling and the skill that you got now? I mean, let's talk about progression. Like it was a long road, right?
Thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, uh-huh. I mean, to be honest, I feel like I was so obsessed the first like 3 maybe 4 years or so, um especially the first 2 years, that I thought I would probably be much better by now at point
Yeah. So cool. Sorry, Joey's just gonna throw up some of your videos. You
for
can
sure,
keep. Oh man, it's so cool.
for sure.
Yeah. So wait, what you saying? You think you thought you'd be a lot better than you are right now?
Yeah, because I didn't see the I think the dancing coming, and also it taking so much darn time. I mean, it really is extremely, extremely difficult. I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
it takes everything. Like all of you, like you rub your belly and you pat your head. It's just like that. But then you got to switch and rub, which and then you're doing that constantly. You're constantly multitasking. So
Man.
yeah. Maybe if I put it
Yeah.
all into juggling instead of prop dancing, I'd be like Bo Juggler, and then I'd be like, okay, I think that's where I thought that I'd end up.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, man. I mean, you're just such a unique dude. You have such a unique approach to poi juggling specifically. It's really cool to see. And yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm working on patterns that have been taking me, they're multi-year in progress patterns. I mean, they're going to take you a long time, and I'm
Mhm.
trying to get into the mindset where it's poi juggling is a lifestyle. It's not. I'm not going to be super obsessed with putting regimented, strict like timelines. Like I have to get this and this amount of time. Like that's just
Mhm.
not how it works, you know.
Mhm.
And to really be consistent with the pattern, you have to do it over a long period of time. It's not like spinning poi. It's because once you learn a pattern when you're spinning poi, pretty much you have it. Once you learn it, you got it.
Mhm.
But with poi
Mhm.
juggling, you might flash it one time, and then you come back to it next week, and you can't flash it, and it's like, damn it,
Yeah,
where did it
absolutely.
go?
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a different thing. It's maybe more comparable to like isolations in spinning, because it's harder to it's about keeping it going,
Hmm.
and it has to be clean, or else I don't know, it's like a dirty isolation. I don't know. Yeah.
So, and you got into four poi as well. Your four poi is actually insane as well. Can you do a four poi Nobi cascade?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I knew it. I knew it. I already knew the answer to that question, but just God, what a
Yeah.
gnarly trick. How long did that take you to learn?
How long did that take me to learn? Uh, I don't,
Probably over a year, right? I mean,
I don't think so. I was pretty heavy into three poi juggling at the time. I don't know. It's interesting. So the way that I practice, it's kind of like you say, I'm not super regimented. So I'll have like a list of tricks that I am chasing, and then a bunch of
mhm.
tricks, I already have down. And basically when I go out and spin, it'll usually be like me kind of like flowing and then trying to hit one of those tricks that I'm chasing, right? And seeing if I can put it into the sequence and like, can't I? If I can't, then I'll like drill it for a little while and then stop and go back to flowing. But it's almost like a primarily like flow-based drill so that I can, that's at least how I was doing it back in the day.
Yeah.
And so it makes it hard to say like how long it took me, because I didn't ever sit there and go, okay, I'm going to start right now and work on this 4-poi thing.
Yeah, no, that's you've actually given the most like relatable answer for me personally. That's pretty much to a T exactly how I approach, poi spinning, juggling. I'll work on a pattern. I'll give it like, if I really am trying to work on a pattern, I'll give it like at most like 30 or 40 tries, and then I'll just go back to flowing. And I really like the transitioning parts. Like I'm all about fitting things into flow. And if I can't fit the pattern into something, like if I have to stop what I'm doing and then set up and then get into it, like I don't, we got to figure out a way to transition in and out of it. That's my whole thing. I love that. So yeah, very much identify with that as well.
When you drill like that too, it's like hitting 2 birds with 1 stone, right? Like, yeah, it takes longer, sure, but like to get the trick that you're looking for. But like now, once you get it, you have a transition into it, out of it, and probably a bunch of them.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think there's something to be said for working on a pattern, for like I said, for like 50 reps or whatever.
Sure.
And then like after that, there's just like diminishing returns. It's like you have to take a step back, work on another, flow for a little bit, come back to it. And you'll find that when you come back to it, it's actually you're further along than you thought, because your brain is still like working on the problem in your subconscious while you're focusing on something else. I think it's a really interesting, method to try to learn these things. But yeah, I mean, folks at home, don't get burnt out on the same pattern, running the same pattern endlessly, because at some point it's just not going to benefit you anymore to keep running it past the point of, it's like, okay, well, I'm not getting it. So we just got to try something else, come back.
It's like working out. Honestly, it's maybe more mental depending on the trick than physical, but your mental needs a break too.
Absolutely. I'm huge on that.
Repetition. Yeah.
So one of my favorite topics of the day. Did you create the app Flow Arts Meetup, or were you just involved in the creation?
I created it. Yeah.
God damn, tell us about that. So cool.
Solo mission. So the Flow Arts Meetup app basically tried to pick up with it. I'm currently taking a break, pick up where prop dance culture left off. So I didn't have any program experience back then. And so I got a little clunky thing, but now I had the program experience, and I was like, okay, like let's do round 2. So let's try to make this social network e-learning multi-vendor website. And it got quite popular quite fast. A bunch of people hopping on and posting pictures and videos and stuff like that. And I had to be like, wait, slow down. Like, I'm not monetizing this at all. And like every video that's watched, uploaded, like all this stuff that everybody's doing is starting to cost me a lot of money. And I'm like, dang, I really like it because I'm trying to make this awesome tool. But I'm like, I actually need to pay for this though somehow. And I wasn't getting enough support on Patreon. Again, school was a thing. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to put this down for a sec. And I'm going to go take care of like school stuff. I'm going to get free. I'm going to come back. And at least have some type of something somewhere so that, it is not something that's just draining me.
And I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this question, but tell us a little bit about the motivation behind the project. Like what inspired you to get that going?
Okay, probably one of the big ones is when prop dance culture was like a thing, and I was doing a road trip around the United States teaching workshops in different places. And so what do? You go on Facebook and you're like, okay, let me go try to find the local group associated with Atlanta, Georgia, Atlanta Flow Arts. And then you get in the group and you're like, hey, I'm coming to town, blah, 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 this and that. And that's kind of like a super clunky process. Not everybody is in the group all the time. I had a lot of people who like missed me because they just weren't in that particular group. Maybe they pay more attention to Poi Chat or something like that. And I'm like, that would be really cool if there was like just an app for Flow Arts, and like you're fine with the notifications because you can turn on the exact ones that you want and they're all like relevant to Flow Arts. So if you care about Flow Arts, bam, that would be really cool. And also for being able to just, in general, if you're in any place, like being able to meet up with the people there very easily without having to search these local groups. Facebook can kind of be a bottleneck in that way, because it's not, if you're there just for flow arts, all the flow arts is not right there out in the open. You have to dig for it.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, just huge props. I mean, huge props, pun intended, to you. 'Cause, I mean, it's just so cool. I was really excited to discuss this topic with you because I just the initiative that you took and the it's just so cool to see somebody putting in things to our community and adding things in the ways that they can. So let us know. I mean, hopefully we'll link all your stuff here at the end of the podcast, for sure, but also down in the description. But support this man, help him out in in the ways that you can, because this project is very, I mean, important for our community. I feel like it's just really cool to see you taking the initiative to do it, and I really want to see it be successful and continue. And it's really cool how much traction it gained. It's really awesome.
Yeah, it's good. The people want it, for sure, and yeah, thank you. Definitely, like next year, hopefully, it's coming back a full
Let's
steam.
go. Let's
Strong.
go. All right,
Get
cool.
them-
Let us know. Keep us posted, man. We will help out in any ways that we can. I think it's really important for folks out there who got into poi but don't really have a lot of like friends. They don't have a lot of like contacts that spin poi. It really helps them find people. Flow Arts Meetup. It helps them find people who are doing the same things and locally, and try to connect and share the art in the ways that that makes sense. So I feel like that's just so important to the progression of really anybody in an area that maybe you don't know other flow artists. I mean, that's just so crucial to your development, is knowing people who do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So on to the next topic. Do you prefer performing or teaching more?
In between, I think they're like they're very different energies. But if I'm thinking about it and I had to, like, I don't know, maybe like add up all the joy from instructing versus performing over the years, like maybe performing will go like a little bit over the edge. Yeah. But I really love teaching people so much. Like, one of my favorite things to do is take complex topics and break them down into like frameworks and help people understand things and make these connections. This is the best.
You're a really analytical dude. Very smart individual. I feel like the more I know about you, the more I'm like, okay, he's done this. Okay, he's doing that. Oh, he's really good at that. Like, it's just crazy. So yeah, kudos, man. What's Joey, if you would pull up Ty has a video on his Instagram. It's one of my favorite videos of yours. Where were you performing? I shared this video the other day. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
He'll
pull it up here in a second.
Yeah, *ɪᴅᴜᴜ.
Yeah. He'll find it. Yeah, right here. He's got it. It's so cool. Oh my god, it's so sick.
This was really good. This was really fun.
Man. Yeah, *ɪᴅᴜᴜ looks so cool. I really got to make it out at some point.
Yeah, it didn't happen this year, but hopefully next year. They're, I think, looking for another venue. That is, I think, my favorite festival that I've ever been to, because I arrived and the music was popping off super good and being really good.
Yeah. And did you do the battles?
No, I actually judged. This was my
judge. Did you?
Yeah.
Sick. Damn. Yeah, you spared everybody else. You just like, all right, I'll judge, mortals. I'll judge. You don't want me battling you because it's a wrap. So sick.
The battles were great though. They were really fun to watch.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a really for all. I mean, flow arts and poi in general is super like personally uplifting, and it's very so much about like your own journey. But it's really fun when we can kind of have a playful, battle, and we can like, I think it's really healthy. And, if you're about it and you want to have fun, I think it's really cool that we can be a part of something like that. I've always said that I think this part of flow arts is really cool, as long as it's fun and healthy and yeah, super cool. So how was it judging? You had a lot of fun?
Oh, yeah. I mean, actually, it was kind of stressful to choose between people and stuff sometimes, and it was Definitely a really interesting experience. I would say it was fun getting a front row seat, but stressful making decisions.
Yeah. Yeah. So were you grading it like, what was the grading system
The
like? Were
grading
you just
system was
out of
intricate.
10 or?
It was intricate. We had like a bunch of
Oh,
different categories. Like I'm not even totally sure. We made
okay.
like 5 different categories. We had math. We like weighted them, and we would calculate that all in between while making the decision. It was like
Damn,
it was proper, professional,
that's
a little
dope.
bit
Okay.
stressful. So, you
Damn.
calculate some numbers. You're like, oh, what really? That's what it. I mean, I feel like
Just over there with a calculator, like that's so cool.
yeah.
Badass. So, on the topic of flow arts festivals, when it comes to the competitive circus games at these festivals, which one are you the best at, and do you have any strategies?
The competitive circus games. I have not been in a bunch of them. I think
No
I
way.
won.
My favorite is the prop toss where there's like a line that you run up to the line and you toss your prop
Yeah.
before you get to the line and then see how far you can get and you have to catch your prop. I feel like you'd be a beast at that game.
Yeah, we didn't. Last time I played games was at Kinetic, and we didn't do that one, unfortunately. We
No.
did like the longest toss, like longest partner toss. So
Oh,
yeah, but yeah, that would be fun. I think I played that, or maybe I just watched it be played at Fire Drums 2017, but I really haven't been involved in a bunch of games. Yeah.
yeah. I went to Kindle last year and they did the one I was just barely talking about, and I was standing next to Vojta and he tossed his poise super far and he tried to make it but couldn't catch it, and he walks back and he's all salty. He's like, you silly Americans and your silly games. Like, it was so funny, dude.
The struggle. I mean, I feel you. I can resonate with that.
Oh, dude, it was so funny. Yeah, I just picture the guy who just lost at that competition last year and has just been off-season training his whole year to come back just harder than ever. Not even spinning poi anymore, just in preparation for winning the contest. I feel like you really have to get, obviously, like you have to get the highest toss possible. But man, that game is so much harder than you think. Like I almost had a successful run, but I did not. I was just going too far, man. Couldn't run that fast.
Yeah,
But
nature.
yeah, you're on the line. Are you on the lineup for Kindle this year?
Yeah.
You are. Yeah, you are. I saw it. So yeah, tell us. Are you teaching or are you also performing?
I believe that I'm doing both.
Yay.
I am teaching Introduction to Prop Dance Fusion, and Point Fundamentals you probably skipped, and I don't know if there's one other workshop. I think it might be one other workshop, a dance workshop. It's either animation style dance or Memphis Jukin or neither. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I hope that you're teaching all the workshops and performing. I really want to see a live performance from you. As far as choreography goes, how do you kind of take that approach? I mean, do you have like a set like act right now, or are you just kind of like building as you go? Like, tell me a little bit about the process of choreographing something like that.
So I've choreographed only like probably two performances I think that I've had. Like the majority are freestyle, and when I do have like an act, so I have performed like an act at Kinetic and IJA and Austin Juggling Fest. And for this process, basically what I do, and even for the old choreographies that I did, I just kind of didn't do it to as extreme, is I pick a song or a set of songs, like whatever I'm kind of feeling, and whatever I've chose to, for bringing the feeling that I want to bring out of me and perhaps the audience, but very much out of me. And then I just flow to it a bunch of times in a row, and I'll find that I'll like certain things at certain places, hear certain things in the music, and just accent them, and then I'll stick those together. And in the past, when I have a real choreo, I'll stick them together and like rock solid. I do not move from that, sequence thing that I built up. But nowadays, because I haven't done that in a while, it's rather more loose for sure, where it's not really fully choreographed at all, but it's definitely not fully freestyle at all.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to find a way to more effectively build choreographies, but it's difficult, man. I mean, you have to find the things that you love doing and then finding the right place for them at the right time of the performance during the right part of the song. So there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, it's a
Ah,
really lengthy and difficult process. So I'm just curious to hear your perspective on that. And
yeah,
it's really cool that you did so many freestyle things. I feel like freestyling can be so much pressure, man.
that's
Oh,
that's what I'm about to say next, is that like when I practice, I practice like how I perform, right? So when I go to
mm,
perform, it's just like a practice session in many ways.
interesting.
So when I'm practicing, I put on a song and I do it like like I'm performing to the song. Like I tell some kind of story, like I have some kind of feeling. Like this is just how I like to practice too. So then again, when I go perform, it's like, okay.
You're practicing freestyling.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. That what a real I feel like I do that, but never really consciously made an effort necessarily to do that. But yeah, I do that as well. That's really cool. That's an awesome approach to have. And yeah, it does help you be more in the moment, and it helps you build your like your improv, and especially you being a dancer. I mean, you have to be able to go with how you're feeling and the what song you're dancing to. There's a lot that goes into it, like even just the mood and the energy of the audience or yourself. And I
Hmm.
thought it was really cool that you want to, you know essentially deliver the energy from what's within you and not necessarily like from the audience or doing something for the audience. Like you're really doing it from a personal approach. Is that right?
Yeah, totally. It's interesting. I had some kind of weird relationship with performing. I don't know what it is. So like at first it was fine. Performing in front of people was totally fine. It was totally fine. The pandemic happened, and then the first I don't know, one of the first times sometime after I performed after the pandemic at some festival, I got like this crazy, like super scratchy throat. And I also didn't feel like performing for people anymore. And these
Mm,
two things were like simultaneous. So like after I would perform, I would get like a really scratchy throat that just like it would bother me literally the entire day till the next day. Like it was messed up. And then this peaked at Austin Juggling Fest, where I actually threw up. I
no
threw up after
way.
a performance. Like I legit like I don't know, I don't feel like particularly nervous or anything like that, but like I developed some type of complex around it. And I made this act that I performed at those places called Expressing What Matters, where I'm like, okay, I'm doing this just for me. Like I have to do this because I don't know, for some reason I'm feeling weird about my relationship to the crowd or the
Mm,
audience or something like that. Like I don't want to feel like I'm doing this for anyone, because that's
right,
how it was in the beginning. I wasn't doing this for anyone, and somehow it
right,
became that, I guess, and I had to take
right.
it back.
Wow, fascinating. So Cassie actually, during her episode, she made it one of the points that I've thought about ever since she said it. I just thought this is such a good point. She said, "You don't." I forget exactly what she said, but basically the gist of it was, you don't go and watch someone do yoga on live on stage for people, right? You don't watch somebody go and meditate live on stage. It's
Yeah,
not something that anybody
yeah.
does. But what we do, and my form of meditation just happens to be a performance art. So we're
See,
performing for people, but you don't realize that, like, yeah, we're all doing, I mean, the majority of us are doing it for ourselves. And I think the further away you get from doing it for yourself, I feel like there can be some unintended downsides to that. So bringing it back to, you doing it for you, I think that's really important. So damn, that's so crazy that you were kind of like actually got ill. So
no.
after you made the change and doing it for yourself, like what have you noticed, like a more like calmness? Are you still super nervous? Like what were the mental differences?
I wasn't really nervous before any of the performances, like any differently is the weirdest
Mm,
thing. Like it didn't feel like it was just I performed like I normally do, and I had this thought, right? And then afterwards I was sick. Like I had this scratchy throat. I'm like, okay, that's weird. And the next time I do a performance, like, okay, and then I'm sick again. It was
weird.
it was very odd. So I mean, Yeah, it went deep, this sort of feeling, I think, beyond just performing. Like, it's almost like you could take that as, like, an analogy or metaphor for, like, also how one interacts and engages with people in general in real life, like, feeling whether
Mhm.
you're performing or really kinda, like, being your authentic self. And performing, I don't mean performing like, "Oh, because I want you to like me," in particular, maybe more like a people pleasy type of thing, like, "I don't want
Mhm.
you to be
Mhm.
mad at me," or something like this.
Sure.
Um I don't know, some type of correlation there, but, like, lots of deep work, but every time I performed for, like, 2022 and Austin Juggling Fest, I guess from, yeah, whatever I did in 2022 up until Austin Juggling Fest was, like, me being, like, physically ill after with, like, this crazy sore throat. It felt like a
Damn.
bug flew in there and got lodged, like, and
Damn.
I'd breathe and I'd feel it every time, and I'm like, "Is there something in my lungs? Am I inhaling dust? Like, is it because I'm spitting
Damn.
fire and it's fumes?" Like, nope, it didn't happen when I spun LED, so
Weird.
weird for a
Weird,
while.
weird, weird, weird. Oh, that ugh. So, you just I knew that you did perform at IJA, but tell me about IJA. I'm really curious about that one because that is a prestigious event, and as a poi spinner and poi juggler, a lot of people don't understand how significant it is for poi to be involved in IJA. So you representing poi spinners and poi jugglers in a juggling circuit is just fucking incredible. I'm very proud of you. Very happy for you. I mean, tell us about the experience. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's happening a lot more. I'm super excited about that for sure. Bo Juggler was there, so I got to
Let's
connect with
go.
him. Yeah,
Let's go. Shout out to Bo.
that was super dope. But I left before seeing his act. I had to go to Equilibrium, drive like 8 hours to Kansas from.
Oh shit.
So that was sad. But like actually doing the thing, that was the like nicest stage I've ever been on. So we were in Cedar Rapids, Idaho, and it was like a yeah super fancy theater stage, super bright lights. It was I don't know, like again, like as nerve wracking. I was really, to be honest, because I had already performed like a few times. I'm like, I really hope I don't feel bad after this.
Mm.
But like, I had a lot of fun. And it was good act, and apparently, I got a standing O.
Oh,
Yeah, I did
nice.
a little like, my ending thing. I like tripped a little bit, but I got off stage, and I didn't see it, but people told me I got a standing O. It was fun.
Oh,
It felt really good because that was the first time that I did that particular performance called, expressing what matters.
that's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah, and I'm sure it was the nicest stage because, again, this is a prestigious event. This is not just a flow arts thing. This is a juggling thing, and this has been a long running event. I mean, this is very like internationally recognized. I mean, it's a big deal. So again, for you, for a poi spinner and poi juggler to be there, I mean, it's just it speaks to your skill and to your dedication to what you do, man. Very few people, very few poi spinners, poi jugglers will ever be, have that opportunity to be at that event. So again, it's just absolutely massive. Did that feel like surreal for you? Like, was it like you said you don't really get nervous? I don't understand how. Like I get so nervous every single time.
Hmm. It's like nervous excitement, you could say. I don't know. I
Mm,
find the two really uh they're supposed to be like the same in your body. Apparently your body can't
sure.
tell the difference, and I definitely feel like kind of the same either way. Like if I'm super excited about something and I'm talking rapidly, like I start getting a dry mouth and like losing my breath. The
Uh
same thing if I'm nervous giving a presentation, I start
huh.
it's the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I do get nervous, but I call it excitement.
I'll start doing that when I'm nervous about something. I'll just be like, I'm just really excited. Yeah,
Oh,
that's cool. That's cool. I mean, you just have like nerves of steel, then, my man. That's
it
really cool. I
helps.
mean, it's a good approach to take.
It helps again, like that. It just feels like an extended form of practice. Like
Mm,
it really, it's really like I'm practicing on stage. Um, if you can have that mindset, then you just yeah, it helps a lot for sure.
that's a beautiful way of looking at it. And when you said the goal of this performance is to not feel bad after, holy shit, I felt that, man. Because I had a performance last year, and I mean, it was. it really was very good. It was very good. But I dropped like one time or two times in the beginning, and then like a couple times at the end, and I was like, I had a really solid couple minutes in the middle that were just super good, like killed it. You know, looking back, it's like I really did a good job. But dude, directly after the performance, man, I literally like was holding back tears. I was like so sad. I was like so disappointed, and I was really bummed, man. I was really fucking bummed. And it's this weird thing in our head that we're fighting all the time as like perfectionists, as people who are really passionate about what we're doing. You know, we don't see it the same way as other people. We're the most critical on ourselves. And so, yeah, the goal for me in every performance is to not feel like shit after. Cause that's a mental, some serious mental work that you have to put in to really have, like grace and understanding for yourself, and that you're never going to have a perfect performance, and you're never going to, hit that. It's never going to be enough. You're never going to do it good enough. That's how I feel, at least in my
Interesting.
experience. Yeah.
You reminded me of, I did a performance. It was early on. It might have been the first performance after 2020. Not sure. I remember though, I felt so bad about the performance. Also, I was like, dude, that was just complete garbage. Like, I'm just like, I don't, I think I've been doing so much school. Yeah, so much school, focusing on so much school. And then, so when I did the performance, it was kind of like I hadn't been like in season, so to speak. It felt like I was like it didn't feel good. But everyone came up, wow, oh my God, I loved it. And that like cognitive dissonance, dude, when you're like so in a dark place, and everyone's like,
Dude, yeah, Joey came up to me and he's like, dude, that was so good. I'm like, fuck you, Joey, that was shit. That was trash. Like, it was so bad. Joey's like, bro, chill. Like, that was really good. What are you talking about? I'm like, I'm like, don't even look at me. Don't even look at me. Like, I'm walking away. I'm gonna go sit in the darkness for 10 minutes until I'm okay again. Yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird. There's these inner battles that we fight in performing and trying to deliver the best version of ourselves, the version that we deliver ourselves when we're having our best moments in solitude, when nobody's looking, no cameras, nobody's around, when you just murder it and you're like, damn, I wish I could just like take that and put it, why can't I have this feeling on stage? It's hard, man. I mean, performing is an entirely different skill in my opinion. Very much different. So what events are you attending this year?
Kindle? Yeah, definitely Kindle. Rostock?
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Damn,
I will go there. I might go to the EJC. The EG.
That's so cool.
That would be really cool. Yeah, because August, my retreat happens, and so it's gonna happen right after, like a couple days after EJC. So I'm like, maybe I could go there before and hit EJC, and then do the retreat, and then like wait like a couple days, and then bam, Rostock, and then
Rostock.
Yeah, Rostock. I don't know.
I try. Yeah, dude. Shout out to 괘ᴜ. That episode is hilarious. I don't know if you saw it, but the 괘ᴜ story about that festival is so funny. Like, I'll just summarize it really briefly.
Yeah.
I was like, so how did this thing come about? And he's like, well, it was my birthday party in the very beginning, and then it just became like the second largest festival in Europe. I'm like, oh, really? Okay, like, Jesus, dude, so cool. What a guy. Yeah, I'm really excited for you to go. Have you ever been out there?
Yeah, I've been out there. I've been to EJC before in 2017 and Artemisia. Maybe something else that I'm forgetting. But yeah, it'll be super cool to go back and see everything. I don't know if Wes Peden's gonna be there, because Wes Peden was there last time I went to EJC, and like his act, unreal, dude. I heard he did, like, it was so crazy, and I think he did it 4 times, and he didn't drop in mine, and I heard he didn't drop in any of the others, and I'm like, he did that 4 times, no drops?
Oh my God. Yeah, so any of the poi spinners that are listening to this that don't know jugglers and don't know, Wes Peden is the pinnacle. Wes Peden is he's probably the most famous juggler in the world. Wes Peden's quite literally the most prestigious, one of the most prestigious jugglers out there. I mean, he's just an absolute beast. Did you get to meet him?
Yeah, we met, we engaged a little bit
Ah,
briefly. Yeah.
ah, it's so cool. So cool. Yeah. That's a big deal, man. And damn, I'm forgetting where is it's in Czech Republic, right? Roachford.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
believe so. Yeah. I
Or
think Cassie's going this year. But it's just such a solid group out there. I mean, so many talented artists from so many
yeah.
different, like contemporary circus jugglers, poi spinners. I mean, all kinds of different people, musicians, like just looks like such a cool event. I definitely want to make it out at some point.
Yeah. And a
But
lot of
you're
them
really
from
doing the international circuit there this year, aren't you? I mean, it sounds like it.
yeah, I guess a little bit. Yeah.
So cool. So
A,
cool.
a thing about over there is a lot of them don't post too. So, you're like, it's like surprising, it's like, it's super cool. Yeah. Like,
Speaking
please
of
get
people
Instagram.
not posting, Ty Roachford, where are you at, bro? I know you're going to school. I know you're busy. Got tons of things going on. I get it. It's hard being Ty out here, okay? But we need more poi videos, damn it. Where are they
Yeah.
at?
I was trying to get a hold of some footage from my performance at Kinetic from someone, but I haven't gotten it. But I know you're talking about like actual content videos.
You're like, yeah, man, they just don't post, bro. Like, yeah, sounds like somebody I know.
um yeah, I again, like, after this year, I'm hoping and opening together. That next year will open up space for me
Yeah.
to like do more stuff, because I spent kind of this year a lot. Like, I wrote this paper that I consider to be my mini thesis, and it took me 6 months to write. 6 months.
Holy shit.
You ever spent on a paper 6 months? It's kind of gnarly. It's wild. Um,
Damn.
so, and that was just because obviously, like, the point of the PhD is the thesis, and it's extremely important for me to be like very clear and upfront about what I want to do, so I get to do it and
Mhm.
like show how it's like well founded and everything like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I did that. I'm making like a little demo thing that I can show, because actually the paper got me invited to a conference in October. It's freaking crazy. Like, it's just a preprint. It's
Whoa.
not like published, but like someone found this preprint and they were like, "Oh, you want to go give a talk on the content of your paper here?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, dang. The International Association of Perceptual Control Theory.
Whoa. All right. All right. Well, I really can't give you shit now. Damn it. I mean, yeah, because you have. I mean, he's got PhD he's working on, so I get that. Poi videos can take a secondary, but damn it, find at
They're
least
coming.
some time in your schedule at some point soon. Don't deprive us of poi
They're
videos
coming.
for an entire year again.
'Cause
Um,
I'm also not spinning as much. Is the thing
are you
too.
really not? Are you not as active right now?
Yeah, I'm definitely not like spinning as much because of it. I'm also in a startup, so I've been coding like an app for a startup, and so I'm doing that. I'm doing school. I'm like, doing my like workout regimen thing, and then just like life, I suppose.
Yeah,
Besides
you're
that,
you're busy. You're busy, so
yeah,
I get it.
I really want to
So
work it in there though. I really do.
yeah. I mean, I'm here for it, man.
It's gonna
So time for the podcast. It's one of my favorite segments. It's going to be when fans write in and they ask questions for us to ask live on the air. So we're going to turn it over to Joey here whenever he is ready with his microphone and camera. And he's going to go ahead and ask his question. Go ahead, Joey.
What's going on, Ty?
Hello.
Hello. Time for the question of the day. All right, this one is from Drew Overbay, or at Notice Me Senpoi. He asked, "What style of dance do you find most compatible with poi spinning?"
What's all the dance I'm most compatible with play spinning? Probably like I could say like a whole category. Just anything that's like primarily footwork is, I feel like, good for doing with poi spinning. I mean, tutting with poi spinning is doable. It's doable. It's very hard, but it's doable. So definitely everything that's like super footwork based. Yeah.
Shout out to Drew, man. That's awesome. I love that Drew writes in questions. I love that we get questions from just incredible artists in their own right, just asking, and because they're curious about the artists that we're having on. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah,
Drew. Much love.
yeah, dude. Have you got to meet Drew in person?
Yeah, we met at Flame. Drew's so nice.
Nice. Yeah. What a guy. I really gotta catch him at one of these festivals. I think I gotta just come out to the East Coast. It sounds like, if I want to get him. He might be going to Fire Drums next year. So I'll have to make it. I've not been to Fire Drums yet. I've actually only been to two Florida festivals.
Yeah,
Quite
so
the
we're
noob.
both very noob at it. I mean,
Yeah.
you're way more of a noob than me, and I'm already so it's like super noob. It makes sense that we haven't seen each other in person.
Yeah.
But you're going to
Yeah.
Kindle, right? You said that?
I think I'm going to Kindle. I think I'm going to Kindle. I cannot go.
Yeah.
It's in Oregon. It's so cool. We love Kindle. Get to see all the friends, all the fun people. So yeah, my friends are really, really dragging me to go. But you're giving me extra motivation to be there. I mean, it's really not even that far away. It's in September, but I have such a busy month in September. I'm gonna hit. Sounds like I'm gonna hit Kindle and then go right to Southwest Flow Fest with either like 2 weeks apart. So I'm just gonna have to make it happen. But yeah, busy month, man.
Yeah.
Southwest Flow Fest is a event that I'm really excited for. Last year was amazing. It's just going to continue to grow in popularity and size. It's going to be even bigger and better this year. So we're really excited. We got some awesome event organizers at this one. Shout out to Evan Thibodeau, if you guys know who that is. Huge shout out to Evan. Evan's the man, really putting in some amazing work down there in Arizona. Marvin's very involved in this project as well, organizing the gala, and just they're doing a really great job. It's awesome to see a festival really take care of the artists, the performers, instructors, all that stuff. Like, it was amazing. Last year I got the hookup. Like, it was great. So really excited for that one. We'll have to get you out one of these years, but it's a great crew down there. Arizona crew is awesome. Shout out to you guys. It's great. Tell me a little bit about the Florida scene. How have you, like, do you guys have a pretty big local jam in Florida that you attend regularly, or like semi often?
Yeah, we go kind of crazy on the jams, at least in South Florida. JT, Jonathan Taylor, Spread the Flow has like a bunch of them. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and kind of like the Stewart area, so just like a bit above West Palm Beach. And then I know down in Miami there's some type of drum circle. There's something happening every other Sunday. In West Palm Beach,
Nice.
Something every month. There's a lot. There's really a lot of jam. There should be a little like calendar thing with all of them. But I think like any night of the week, I think you could actually go to a jam every night of the week if you're in this area, South Florida. Not up in Orlando, but I think you could down here every day if you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, Florida is crazy. There's so many talented poi spinners out there. It's kind of wild. I've been seeing how many people are based out of Florida. It's a trip, man. There's a really solid community down there. It's pretty cool. So many burners.
Awesome. We're almost like a little spread out in a way. Like I definitely don't venture down Miami with the Miami crew people too much, because it's just like that drive, man. The drive is kind of just like a lot. I'm not a big driver person. Yeah. So.
That's funny. So just on another topic really quick, the other video that you sent us, we can't watch this video every single episode, guys. So unfortunately,
I can pick another one.
No, okay. Off the top of your head, do you want to?
Yeah. Yeah, Michael Parisi, For the Love of Flow.
Let's do it. Yeah. Okay, sweet. Joey's gonna pull it up. But so
the music like took me back.
So Ty asked Ty this morning, I'm like, yo, send me your 2 favorite poi videos on YouTube. Obviously, the first one we already watched. The second one, he sent me Mel Red Pants again, y'all. Mel, goddamn, you're killing it, brother. Every single person I've had on this podcast, I think like the last 5 episodes or something, somebody has sent me Red Pants. Yeah, Michael Parisi, dude. Love this guy.
Yeah.
What a beast.
This is a very, very nice burn for sure. It would be between this and then there's like, I don't know I remember if it's called like Flow Tech, but he just has standard contact poi and he's doing some crazy 3D
dude
for like 12 minutes or whatever.
It's wild. I've still never seen 3D on his level. I mean, he's a very subcategory, very unique spinner for sure.
Isolations are always popping off too.
Oh, so good. Yeah. So clean. Yeah, man. I wonder where is Michael. I would love to get a hold of him, man. He was a huge inspiration for us back in the day. I mean,
Yeah,
probably like
really
early
cool.
2010s, around like 2012, 2013. I mean, he was
Yeah.
just massive inspiration.
Yeah, yeah. He was like, I don't know, like I guess done by the time I started because I was like
Really?
13. So I was just looking back and I'm like, bro, where's this guy at? I actually have him on Facebook as a friend. I mean, at least I did. I don't know if he's still there. I'd be down to poke him for you for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta just get in contact with some of these people that have kind of disappeared. Like Michael, and you mentioned Surreal as well. Holy shit,
Mhm.
that would be a dream to get
Mhm.
Surreal on. It's just crazy. I mean, the impact that Surreal had on the Poi community at large on an international level was like really incredible. I would love to get that guy on. Surreal is probably like one of my all-time, like for sure one of my all-time favorites. It's hard to rank. But yeah, I mean, in my early years, man, Surreal was the dude. So sick.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
I don't even know
Can't
how many
argue with
times I've
that.
seen Brainstorming and Melting Pot. I've probably seen them like, I don't even know, probably like almost 50 times.
I feel like a lot of when I started, I don't know, 2013, 2014, 2015, we had these contact ploy and stuff, and we were kind of just like playing with stuff that he was doing, like, you know what I mean, like a while ago.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Because he did so much one poi exploration in those
Totally.
videos, which I thought was
Mhm.
awesome, and just conceptual work.
Mhm.
A lot of it was just kind of not even fully, fleshed out. It was not even fully put together yet. But it was just
Yeah,
so
yeah,
so cool to see what's possible.
that's what I mean. I mean, like, I think maybe like Wyatt Davis and some other people kind of took like almost like those 1 point moves and then but had a second point, and so they would do like contact and then the other one would wiggle down, or something like this. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Wyatt, man. Those of you who have watched the podcast and actually keep up on all the episodes, you know that I grew up in the same area as Wyatt, and I actually got to hang out with him and learn from him in Salt Lake, which is I mean, I'm very lucky with the influence that I had. But Wyatt is still, I mean, still one of my favorite. He
Mhm.
doesn't even spin point
Yeah,
anymore. And he's
I know,
still one of
right?
my favorite. Damn it.
Right? Same. Like, okay, fine.
All right, Wyatt, your club juggling is godlike. Okay, it's sick. I'm not gonna hate. It's beautiful. But yeah, I miss seeing him spin poi. I want to just
Yeah.
throw this man a 20 or buy him some lunch and be like, spin poi for an hour and give us like 10 minutes of poi, please.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those ISOs.
So funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a cool guy. It's been a long time since I've seen him. It's probably I think the last time I saw him I was probably like fucking 13 or 14. It was probably like 10 years ago. More than that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. I think I've seen
Yeah.
him more recently than you then.
Yeah, that's weird.
Interesting. Oh, good times. And of course, just a little 3D at the end there.
So one last topic I really want to get to before we close things out. What is your preferred setup for poi juggling? Give me like a brief run through for like specs, type of tethers, preferred specs.
It's kind of weird because I try to make my set do everything. So, my set, for contact, I guess you could say, like, I like it so that if I'm holding the handle, the ball can be right here. So that's just like how I do my length. And then from there, I have like it's a glow palm grip with like a night eyes inside of it. If you know the night eyes, little like dog things, and they just happen to fit right there in the glow palm grip, just nice. And it basically is like a play silicone knob, I would say, with the weight. I have 2 washers in there, and that's attached to a static rope into the capsule 2.0, which is in a light up and juggle ball. So just like LED contact poi, and that's 97 millimeters, and I think that's like 890 grams, something like that, and my handle like 34 grams or something like that. And I have like, I think I prefer like a 6 to 8 millimeter rope. something like that. So like kind of thin on the thinner end, but static for sure. It's
Yeah.
everything better.
Yeah, static's nice, dude. Static is so nice. I mean, once you get static ropes or static tethers that actually hold their shape and they're more reliable, you never go back. It's too nice. I've gone through many different tethers, but I remember back in the days when everybody was spinning the super like the dental floss tethers that are just so tiny and like surreal, like his old videos when he was just like you couldn't even see the tether. It's like,
some yarn.
Yeah.
And then you juggle with them and they're like salmon. They're like,
yeah.
You know,
trying to do flats with those. I'm like, bro, how?
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's
you
ridiculously hard.
They're wiggly flats.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, I was curious on your setup. Troy was poking fun at you earlier when we were off stream. He's like, ask him if he still has those old ass boy.
They're basically.
Oh, let's see him. He's got him. Okay, pull him out.
A little setup here. I think I have new tethers from Troy at least. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But these
are
the
ball knobs. Yeah, those are nice knobs. They look pretty static. Okay, cool.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. See that, Troy? They're not that old. That's dope.
I'm sure they're like the poi of thesis or whatever, you know, like all the parts get replaced one after another, and they kind of stay just the same.
Nice. I like that. Well, dude, it's been really great. Thank you for adding so much. I mean, this is a really unique episode as far as just all the things that you've had to do in the flow arts community, as far as your dance culture involvement and your flow arts meetup involvement, IJA contribution to, I mean, it's just been really cool to chat with you. I'm super excited to meet you at Kindle. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day, out of your busy day.
Absolutely.
To do the episode with us, man.
Thank you so much, Patrick. This was a real joy. Like, it's super nice to have just taken some time away to really dive back into Poi and remember why I really love it. And it's super cool to listen to your podcast and again, help me remind me of the passion behind it and stuff. Cause yeah.
And it's so cool when I post on my story and I let everybody know who our next guest is. It's always awesome how many people are reaching out to me and they'll react to the stories and be like, what, you're having Ty on? So people really get excited, and there were so many people who were excited to see you come on. So I just it's weird to think about it sometimes, but I don't think I think we lose perspective about how many people out there look up to yourself, and we just lose sight of art, because it's hard to see yourself like that, and you get to a level where you're putting out all these videos and you're inspiring people on a level, and you just you kind of forget sometimes, but we just so many people out there love you, man. It's you bring such a unique set of skills to the table, and it's been a pleasure. I can't wait to meet you, man.
Thank you. Same.
Yeah, we'll have some fun. We'll play around with some fun ideas. We'll do a little collaborating. But you guys know where to find this man on social media. All his links will be listed in the description on YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. Support him when he gets this Flow Arts Meetup app running again. We'll find a way to support him. We'll keep y'all posted on when that happens. But show Ty some love. Let us know what you think of the episode down in the comments, and anything else you want to say before you leave, Ty?
I would like to say, how about a quote? How about I end with a quote? One of my favorite quotes. Okay, so it's do not follow in the footsteps of the wise, seek what they sought.
Ooh, we're gonna end it on that, folks. That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Ty. Roachford, episode 12. Peace out, guys.